He's a stabber.
Now we have battle report 252.
252.
This is the Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Saurian Ancients.
At Huzzah Hobbies.
Yep. Moving on. Pick up game. Same list I've been using with the Equitaine. And this is an odd list. Let's start with that.
Okay.
He's got a Cayman Ancient as his general. He's got a halberd with a supernatural dexterity on it. The Taurosaur's Vigor. That's the one that gives him an extra wound, I think, right?
I recall.
Skink Priest, who's an adept of Druidism. He's got the Binding Scroll and the Sun Tablet on a Palanquin. Another Skink Priest, who's an adept of Druidism. He's got a Binding Scroll and the Obsidian Tesseract. This is the one that just steals one of my power die, or makes me burn a power die once per game. I don't know. Not sold on that item. Skink Captain BSB with the Spirit of the Stampede. He's riding a Taurosaur. Skink Captain with paired weapons and Shield Breaker, in addition to Rodabout.
Okay.
15 Skink Braves, hand weapon and shield. 25 Skink Braves with full command, hand weapon, shield, and the Tree Frog banner to give them poison. 24 Saurian Warriors, full command, spear, shield, and they are Serpent Warriors for the +1 initiative, fight an extra rank. +1 agility, fight an extra rank. 15 Saurian Warriors with hand weapon and shield. A Stygiosaur with the spell of the Mystic Traveler. Okay?
Okay.
Which gave him... ended up giving him Shamanism so he could get Scarification on it.
Okay.
Ramphadon Riders with a champ, 3 of those. 2 Spearbacks, a unit of 2 Snake Swarms, and 3 Cayman with champ, standard, and halberd. Small unit of Cayman.
Okay. It's a very unique list.
What's that?
Very unique list.
It's a nice word. So we're going to play Counter Thrust and Spoils of War.
Okay.
Using a map pack, you can see the tokens across the center for the Spoils of War.
Yep.
Kind of going clockwise from the top, we have a forest, a ruin, a wall, a field, another wall,
Looks like a fence to me.
Fence, a hill on the bottom left, a ruin on the upper right, and impassable in the center.
Okay.
Based on that, if you'll notice, and this is a map pack, based on the fact that that's the map pack, I left off my normal healing water spell. But I did take the Master of Earth based on the fact that there's that impassable right there in the center of the board.
Right. And
something's going to be within 12 of that. Other than that, Summer Growth, Entwining Roots, and Stone Skin. Deployment, we went back and forth a few times, and then I ended up dropping with about 3 left to at least get a chance to go first. You can see the Spearback deployed way over here with the small unit of Cayman. I mean Skinks. Cayman out here. The General's right here. Snake Swarm, Stygiosaur, Taurosaur, another Spearback. This is the larger unit of hand weapon and shield guys.
Okay.
Big unit of Serpent Warriors and another 15 block. And the Ramphadons.
Okay.
And there's my deployment. Oh, this is after
Vanguards?
Yes. After Vanguards. So again, you can see I had these 2 units here, and then after Vanguards, we just shift them off to the right. Because, this unit is scoring and can pick up this, but hopefully I can deal with them. He tags these 2 units for the Ramphadons, the Knights of the Realm, and the Knights Aspirant.
What? No frog markers? Very sad.
And first turn, he starts moving forward. I don't know how he did it, but he picked up this unit somehow, and the unit kind of exploded. You've seen where you pick up a unit from the sides and it kind of pops.
Right.
He did. So they're all fine. They're just scattered. Spearback moves up.
Okay.
Ramphidon come out here towards the center. And everyone else just kind of, well, the big problem is the Saurus warriors come up and occupy the fence.
Okay.
As well as the snakes occupy the fence as well, with 50% behind it. And that's going to be it
Okay.
for his movements. And, you know, then he proceeds to shoot stuff and not do much.
Okay.
Shooting and spells didn't do very much at all this turn. So going back to my turn.
Well, he's got druidism, so he's not going to do much.
What's that?
He's got druidism, he's not going to do much with spells.
Yeah, this guy was out of range of everything.
Oh, okay.
This guy had a couple. This guy was even out of range because he was over 18. He didn't want to come out of the ruin so he could get the cover bonus.
Right.
So he ended up not shooting. The only thing he had is a great bow shot at like a 6, which he took in one of my peg knights.
Okay.
So there we go. So my turn. The small unit of Grail Knights comes up here on the hill.
Right.
From up here, I can get re-rollable charges either way. And, you know, somebody's got to deal with this token.
Yep.
The first unit of Brigands, this unit of Brigands comes forward to shoot at the spearback. And why did I do this? These guys came forward. Not sure why these came
wanted
forward.
to charge with his swarm?
I was trying to pull his swarm out, to tell you the truth. Because I wanted this unit into this. I wanted the Grail Knights with the BSB into the small unit.
Okay.
Because I think I can deal with them. And keep him tied up. And then if he turns to try to help him, then I can slam him in the side.
Okay.
Is what I was kind of thinking, if I remember correctly. So on that, I actually shoot and put a wound on him and then get entwining roots on him. So he's going to be -1 to shoot me as well.
Okay.
Going on to turn 2. That's where he starts. And he declares a charge with the snakes into my yeoman, so I hold. But then he sends this guy at him as well, Stygiosaur. And I decide to flee and run back to here.
Okay.
The snakes make their charge and catch me and kill me. So I did draw the snakes out.
Okay.
And then he tried a long charge here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needed like a 10 or 11.
Okay.
And did not make it. Staggers forward a couple inches.
Stagger, stagger, crawl, crawl, stagger.
Exactly. And spear block backs up an inch or two. This Saurian Ancient block backs up a bit. Everyone else just kind of sits where they are. I mean, the Stygiosaur, you can see he failed his charge. He moved up, but bumps. Everyone else is just kind of standing off,
hanging out,
watching. So this is what it looks like going into my turn. And the Grail Knights are going to charge into the Skinks on a rerollable 8.
Oh, so he shifted this guy over.
He shifted started to shift into the cover, but couldn't get all the way in there. And over here, the aspirants need a 6 to get into the Cayman. Plan here, of course, is to go smash the Cayman. If I break through them, I'm on the Skinks, and if he helps, I'm ready to jump on him with this unit. Is what I'm looking for.
Can't see that you wouldn't break through them, but okay.
And well, it's only 11 attacks.
Yeah. Plus the 3
Because I am 3 wide instead of 6 wide. Correct. So we charge in here. One guy has to go into the ruin and dies.
All right.
It's a good start. That doesn't bode well.
But you made it in.
But I made it in. The spearback walks back into the ruin on his turn. So we make it in over here.
Yep.
And over here,
Then bring your Pegasus up a little bit.
bring the Pegasus up to support. The Brigands come forward. They're just continually shooting at this guy, trying to knock down that spearback.
Right.
Everyone else just stays in position.
Except for your yeoman.
This one is intimidating me.
Yeah.
Here behind the fence, I'm not going to be able to do anything to it.
Right.
Or not do enough to it until I can clear out a flank charge.
Yeah. But you didn't move the other one behind the fence.
But the other one has not come up to the fence, which is making me very happy. Over here on the left, the brigands continue to come forward to keep this guy in. I want to be able to shoot him off before he can go into the side and help those guys against the Grail Knights. And that's about it. I got Entwining Roots off on the, just as a spell to get off on the Ramphidons, just to try to get something off.
Right.
Because he's using his, whatchamacallit, binding scroll as well.
Okay.
So over here,
he's kicking your butt.
My 2 Grail Knights, my champ and a regular Grail Knight, do a total of 1 wound. And he does 1 wound back to me.
Yeah.
That was not the desired result. So, but I do make my leadership check and stick.
That's surprising.
Over here with my 11, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm exaggerating. 10. My 10 attacks from the knights and 3 from horses. I managed to put 2 wounds on the
wow.
on these guys.
And lost 2 guys.
Luckily, they only did 2 back to me.
Yeah.
My charge, and he's got a banner, so we're going to push.
Okay.
Which is not a good result. Moving on to his turn. His turn 3. His turn 3. That's where everything is. The Ramphidons actually failed their frenzy check. Because this was within 14 of them.
And it is 45.
Closest point, and it is within 45, so he can see them.
Okay.
So he fails his frenzy check. I decide I don't want to take that.
Right.
So we leave, we run through and end up back here.
Okay.
And what else did they do? There they are. I wonder what that metal picture was for. Guess just to show that they were charging. Snakes moved over to chaff up the Grail Knights with the BSB in them.
Okay.
And he just kind of left these guys to die, to either win or die on their own, which is was I thought a good choice because anything that comes in there has got this lurking, waiting for it.
Yeah.
The I actually he wasn't aware of the rule, and I'm glad I pointed it out to him. But these guys were on the fence. Once I moved these up, I pointed out to him. I was like, if these guys do hit you in the flank at the same turn they hit you in the front, you don't get your spear bonus.
Right.
And he was like, "What do you mean?" He was not aware of that rule, that the side attack cancels it. So I showed that. So now on his turn, the psychological effect of that is on his turn, he now has backed off the fence.
Right.
But this unit has come up and occupied it. So
okay.
Kind of a trade-off there. This turn it goes a little bit better for me. He kills 2, and I don't take 1 back.
Yeah.
So I win this fight. He's steadfast, but he breaks anyway. I elect to let him run. He rolls a 5 for his distance and stays on.
Okay.
And thinking about that, I forgot to make him do his dangerous terrain checks when he ran away, but who cares? Over here, he kills 1 of me, and I kill none. I do actually no wounds to him, which, whatever. 9 strength 6. Sorry, 9 strength 3 attacks.
Yeah, now you're in grinding mode.
Is not good for those guys.
Yeah.
So he actually does a wound and has a banner, so I lose by 2. I can't roll a 7 and stick, so they flee. He chases me, but does not catch me.
Oh, okay.
And there we have that. So now it's back to my turn. My turn, the Grail Knight's going to charge them off.
Okay.
Make sure they leave. This unit charges into the snake swarm.
Why didn't you just chase them?
Because I wanted to spend this turn aiming back towards the other guy, to getting back to the token to pick it up.
But you charged them anyway.
Well, I don't want them turning around
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah. At this point, I can't afford them to do
Right.
it. Yeah. Anyway, I thought they would run off and I
No.
would be safe,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't roll high enough to get it off. Anyway, so I lose a Grail Knight charging into the Snake Swarm because of that rule. Over here, the Peg unit comes into the what are those guys again?
Crocscores.
No, that's not.
Oh, Cayman.
Caymans.
Sorry. Yes.
Charges into the Cayman, but because of the length of the base, I'm only on one guy.
Okay. And your other guys rally.
But that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
This unit rallies. I put them on a different base, but everyone was sitting on this big base, so I just kind of left it. And then the brigands, of course, being start their mark, can move 10 because they start within six of a knight unit.
Right.
So they march forward 10 and provide chaff for all this stuff back here, which can get through to where he needs to be. What do we got? Moving on. Oh, the yeomen rally and come back forward. So anyway, so the brigands, even though they're within 15, they need 5s to hit because he's in the ruins.
Right.
5 to hit, 5s to wounds. I still do nothing to him. He's still sitting on 1 wound. 1 wound taken. But then magic goes along and I get off to the strength of stone.
Whatever it's called, yeah.
And rolls. He's like, okay, go ahead, whatever. So I roll 6 hits. They all 6 wound. He makes no armor save. Wipes out that unit.
That's funny.
That was unfortunate for him. He didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, sure.
He was not amused. And then the ensuing fight over here, the Peg Knights, the general himself just wipes the unit. He ended up with doing a total of 8 wounds before rolling to multiply.
Okay.
So we have that, and turns the face into the center, and everything's nice and chaffed up over here, like I like it. So I'm really okay with the situation at this point. And of course, the Grail Knights finished off that Snake Swarm. So we're moving on to turn 4. Turn 4, the beginning of it looks like this. And here he comes. So the Spearback's going to charge into the Bowman. And the Skinks are going to try, I think this was an 8 or a 9 to get into the Peg Knights. In addition to that, the small unit of Saurian Ancients are going to charge the Grail Knights.
Okay.
Which doesn't worry me that much. These guys are hand weapon and shield ones.
Yeah.
So they're strength 4.
Yeah.
It's a lot of attacks, but they're strength 4.
That's a lot of attacks.
Yeah, they needed an 8. And everybody makes it. This is irritating me. The one thing, this unit should not be getting charged by skinks.
Should have fled off the table.
That's a good point. The Spearback walks to the other side of the walks to the other side of the ruin to get a closer look at that Grail Knight. And the Saurian Ancients, the Saurians in the middle also make their charge.
Okay.
Then to make matters worse, he gets +1 strength off on the skinks. So now they're strength 4. They do have hand weapon and shield, but that's it. So the charge here, he comes off. He actually does 2 wounds. He puts a wound on my BSB and kills the Grail Knight. I killed 1, 2, 3, 4 of him. And I believe it was a push. I killed 4 in a charge. I killed 4. He put 2 wounds, a charge, a rank, and a banner. Yep. Charge, a rank, and 2 wounds. No, charge, a rank, and 2 wounds. This one didn't have a banner. So anyway, so we stick. In combat there. Not a big deal. Over here, the Spearback is better at shooting than fighting, apparently. I managed to put a wound on him. He kills one of my guys. Even with the stomp, you can only manage one.
Yeah.
It might have been the stomp that actually put the wound on him. They lost, but with the general here, they stick around. And goes back to my turn. So, this unit, this unit can see the footprint of this unit,
Right.
but they can't make this charge with the
Yeoman in the way.
with the yeoman in the way. So the yeoman decides. So the champion in this unit, looks over the yeoman and says, "You know what? You need to go charge those Saurian Ancients back there behind that fence." So they say, "That looks like a good idea. We're going to go do it, boss." So they charge out here. Over here,
I think I may have gone for the Stegadon in the back.
I was worried about rolling low.
Oh, okay.
That I actually considered something else, but it's like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if he was in range. But anyway, so over here, both units of Knight's Aspirant are going to the side of the skink unit.
Okay.
And
he's coming back to get his token.
Mr. Spearback, who can't wound a Grail Knight, the Grail Knight walks around and comes over and parks on the token. The brigands come up. We'll cover you.
Yeah.
And move closer. And of course the charges come off. There's the valiant yeoman. Poor guys. And smash here. Everything is into this unit.
Okay.
And we got that. And so we do this fight, and the guy beats me, and the yeoman run from the spearback.
From one guy lost.
Yep. So I'm fighting skinks.
Yeah.
I'm charging in the flank of skinks.
Yeah.
I managed 7 wounds out of all this.
Yeah.
There's a general, 4 peg knights, 3 pegasi, whatever. 6 of these guys. Only one of these was touching, by the way. So, or maybe 2 at the beginning of the combat. But 7? 7 wounds? Anyway, so because I did 7 wounds, and he killed one of my knights, he's steadfast. And because he's steadfast, he's going to stick around.
Okay.
And this guy here in this aspirant unit, this guy on the right.
Well, you would have to kill a lot more for him not to be steadfast.
No, not really. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's got 3 ranks there.
He's got this rank. He's got 1, 2, 3 ranks.
Yeah.
But each rank is only 3 guys because of this big guy on the palanquin. See what I'm saying? He's taken up.
For the... Oops.
The excitement begins.
Yeah, for the back guys, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 in each of these 2 ranks.
Understand.
So all I have to do is, this is a rank, this is a rank. All I have to do is kill 4 more, and he's not steadfast. Actually, less than that.
There's 3 per rank. So
There's 1 in the 3rd rank.
We got to remember he's 4, so he's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
5 guys.
whatever.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
I was not thrilled.
Okay.
Anyway, even killing 1 or 2 more
Right.
would have allowed this unit to overrun
Yeah.
out of this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. So, but anyway, so I did 7 wounds, and that's where we sit.
Okay.
Not thrilled with that. Over here, things go much better. We smash into this unit. He kills 1 of me. You can see my magic. I've grown back a Grail Knight.
Yeah.
We smash into this unit, get entwining roots off of him. We break it. This unit elects to stand, and the Grail Knight's overrun.
Okay.
Because of where it was. The front was here. And we're going to go to turn 5. Turn 5, he looks over things, and the spearback declares a charge and chases off the brigands, who are already fleeing. Redirects into the flank of the big unit of aspirants, and the skink on the Taurosaur and the Cayman General both are going to charge the flank of the small units of aspirants.
Okay.
And then the big unit of Saurian Ancients declares a charge onto my BSB's unit, and I don't think I can hold up to it, so I flee. And then he redirects into this fight. So, there you have it. there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units involved in this one combat.
Yeah.
This might be a record. I've had some big scrums before, but this might be a record. Anyway. So we're all smashed into there. And his Stygiosaur comes over here because he wants to use his breath weapon on the Grail Knights. He's got a toxic breath weapon. And he's got scarification up, or plans on having scar. I think that's scarification. So the fight goes. What happens? So the the Taurosaur kills the 3 original aspirants that were out here.
Well, the Cayman.
And the Cayman. Between the two, I think this Taurosaur did it with the impact hits.
Okay.
Killed all 3, so nothing really else happened. Which pulls these guys out of the fight, temporarily at least. We've already done the overrun and moves and stuff at this point. But the Spearback remained here. I put this is my champion. The champion put all of his 2 attacks plus the horse on the Spearback, hoping to do a wound to it to eliminate the flank bonus. Didn't manage it. So he ended up doing 3 wounds plus 4, 5, and then a 6th wound on this unit. So he ended up only doing 6 wounds in this combat. Plus a charge and a flank from this thing. I have a flank, and I ended up doing, 5 wounds or something back.
Okay.
So I ended up losing this combat by 1. Both units rolled and stayed.
Okay.
For me.
Mm.
Then he did his overruns,
right.
And the Taurosaur and the Cayman come into the flank of the next units of aspirants.
Okay.
He thought about it for a while, and then elected to overrun with because this is turn 5. So unless he's on the center of this, he can't pick it up, of the token. So he elected to do an overrun with the Saurian unit, hoping to roll low so that next turn he would start on it and he could pick it up. But as you can see, he does the overrun, rolls an average roll. I think he rolled like 7 and went right by it. And goes right by this entire fight in addition. So they have that. So now we're going to go back to my turn. My turn, the Grail Knights with their BSB are going to charge the Stygiosaur. The BSB's unit rallies. The Brigands do not continue moving. And over here, now the other unit of Brigands interpose themselves between the Grail Knight and the Spearback. And this turn, since they're in the terrain with it, they only need the 3s to hit it, so they hit it a lot of times and killed it finally. Over here, we charge the Stygiosaur. He's got scarification up. I don't think I did a single wound, and he killed one of the Grail Knights. Wasn't thrilled with this. Okay, so in this combat, the Taurosaur, of course, does his impacts again and wipes out the unit of 3. You can see him down here. The 3 aspirants. But those are the only wounds he does. This unit of Peg Knights with the General completely eliminates all the skinks. So he has 3 wounds from here. I did, I think, 7 or 8 wounds here. And win the combat. He flees. I charge him, and we overrun into the Cayman General.
Okay.
Then on turn 6, it's his turn. So his Taurosaur charges. His Taurosaur... I overran him. I'm sorry, the Taurosaur took his overrun and smashed me as well. Or, I don't know, he charged me this turn, one or the other. Not sure how that worked. But anyway, so the Taurosaur is charging, the Peg Knights are charging, and these 2 units are in the combat with the Peg Knights. and everybody's charging. Except for the Cayman. The Saurian warriors on turn 6 turn to face, just in case this unit of Knights of the Realm decides to charge him. He didn't want me to hit him in the flank. And this spearback walks forward so it can fire more shots into this unit. So, knowing he's only got these two, and knowing the Taurosaur is only touching my general, I issued a challenge with my general. If he accepts with the Cayman guy, his Taurosaur is safe, but his Taurosaur can't contribute to this fight. Because the Taurosaur doesn't have swirling melee.
Right.
So he can't put his attacks into the fight, into the unit. So he puts his attacks into me, rolls 8 for wounds, for hits. Ends up doing 6 wounds to my general. And with the 4-up armor, I make 5 out of 6. But I do fail, and I failed the other one and take a wound. Failed the ward save on it and take a wound. So he does 1 wound to me. We know what this guy does on the charge. He obliterates the Taurosaur, and the unit tries to chase down the Cayman Ancient, but they cannot. They run into here, take dangerous terrain. Everybody's okay. And over here, the Stygiosaur, we did 2 wounds to it on this turn. Broke it, and again, did not catch it either. And that's it. That's all that's going on. So turn 6, bottom of turn 6, the unit of Knights of the Realm did not charge into the front of this unit.
Yeah.
They charge the spear back, crush it, and both the 2 units back here charge off their respected opponent.
Right.
And that's where it's going to end.
So he's left with the
big
block
unit
of dudes.
block, which is a 600 and some point block.
Yeah.
But in the end, he picked up 1,021 points to my 4,200, which is going to be a 20-0. Problems. My initial setup. Setting these guys up over here is dumb. It was a dumb move. Something should have flopped, and they should have been out here in the center where they have more range of movement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is reducing their movement by 50%, basically. I can only go left.
Yeah, that only makes sense on the flank if you've got something planned specifically.
Right, and there's too much there to try to blow through over there, I think. Turn 2, once I drew these out here to do it, I didn't go kill them.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was about.
It made no sense to me. I was like, I don't know what I was doing.
You drew them out, and then you put your guys in front of them.
Because I'm easily looking at this now and say, even if I hit them, I'm out of arc of these. They can't see me. These guys, I'm probably out of arc of. Even if I'm not, these guys can go 18 and get out here and block. Again, I drew them out where I wanted them and then ignored them.
Yeah.
So he could be chaffed next round. That was just dumb. Dumb moves. I put 2 pictures together like that. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff. Both of these, I made the mistake of not causing very many wounds.
That's your mistake?
That's my mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. 2 wounds there. 1 wound here. There was 2 of these Grail Knights, by the way. Not just 1.
Yeah.
That was a terrible mistake.
Yeah. Didn't cost you. You ran away anyway.
It did. It didn't. Not that turn anyway. Again, back to this on turn 2. I'm still stuck here in the corner instead of out here where I have more options.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck could have been off the table.
Ends up correct, because when this unit loses combat, now I've got to make a panic check, and maybe I go off on a single 9. Anyway, they needed to be out here. This was another bad move, and again, not causing enough wound. Terrible mistake.
What's that arrow indicating?
This was the plan. The plan is I break this unit, make it run to the right. This unit chases it. This unit holds, pivots and faces.
I see, okay.
This unit holds. Everything's still in my front. This unit's out here. If something's threatened to hit it and overrun, I can just flee off the board with it.
Right.
So this was the plan when I went in.
Yes.
But this is my mistake. This big 7 right there.
I see.
Kind of dumb, but anyway. So in 2 instances, my plan failed.
Your plan was to cause more casualties.
My plan was to cause more casualties than I did. And it was a bad plan because I should have expected to only kill 7 skinks
Well, there's
with 12 knights.
There's actually a good lesson there in general.
There is?
Well, I find a lot of times people launch attacks and they're counting on certain numbers of casualties.
Right.
And they don't consider that might not happen and what's going to happen if that doesn't happen. Right? They don't defend themselves.
Good point.
I'm not saying it was the case here,
Right.
but I'm speaking in general terms, you know.
In general terms, I agree with you.
And I always find that people, they think they're going to get at least the average.
Correct.
Not that the average means what you're going to get most of the time.
Right.
But you have an equal chance of getting less than you do more. So, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm looking at the skinks. I'm like, the peg knights alone, that's a lot of strength 4 attacks that are coming in.
Yeah.
Now, I'm only hitting on 4s because he's got parry.
Yeah.
And I can't get around parry with this unit.
Yeah.
But that's all those strength 4 attacks that are wounding on 2s, by the way. Wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
Because of his low... No, wounding on 2s. I'm strength 4, he's tough 2.
Yeah, unless he's got stone skin up or something.
And he did. He had +1 strength. So I'm wounding on 2s. 3 auto stomps built into that. Plus the sheer number of attacks of this unit coming in.
You didn't actually need the Grail Knights in that.
This is not the Grail Knights. That's the other aspirants.
Oh, so other aspirants for
Those
one?
are the other aspirants.
So one aspirant? Yeah.
Yeah, well, they had to because they were in the way.
Oh, okay.
They were right here, remember? If you remember. Anyway, they were like...
Oh, yes, you
in
had to
way
do, you did
'cause they
the
had
crisscross. Yeah.
So they had to come to the back. And again,
Yeah.
like I said, this also allowed me to do everything else I wanted, which was get out here. Anyway, I didn't think they were going to get off the board, but I thought they would get out here far enough that this unit could pivot. And anyway, whatever. Remember that next game. Remind me to do more wounds.
Yeah. Okay.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But anyway, other than that, it was a 20 no.
Yes.
So,
what can one say?
it's an enjoyable game. I will say on the earlier turns, he was doing a good job of keeping me kind of back with this unit because I was afraid of getting into there and letting this thing hit me in the flank.
Right.
I mean, to get into that and let him tie me up was going to be a bad thing. But I can't get charged, and I let the skinks charge me.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, at
rule.
least you only got charged by skinks.
It was only skink. Now, it was funny because I forgot to mention this. This skink unit had the captain in it that's got the shield breaker.
Oh, okay.
So when he charged me with this unit, I was forced with my general to take my potion of speed
Yeah.
and kill him before he could go because I don't want that. He's only strength 4, but that's a 50-50 chance of wounding me,
Right.
and I've got no armor.
Yeah.
And because of that, only a 6-up save because he's only strength 4.
Yeah.
So he made me waste my potion of speed to kill him. Anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening.